Okay, lesson number two. Lesson number two. As I said, we'll continue with where I left off. Lesson number one. We're using the first finger and we're using the first fret, the first, second, and the first string. Let's look at my board. Can be descriptive. Let's see what I have here. Oh, and I see that the first finger was to be on the second string, first fret. On the first fret, I put the first finger, which is my index, and then the same finger drops to the first string, which I call the G7, right here, and then it goes back to number one, which is on the second fret, second string, first fret. So this is the chord progression. Chord progression. Yeah, they follow. It progresses from C to G7 back to C. They call that progression. It's moving. It does not stop on C. It goes to G7 and then it goes back to C. Okay, so we call it called progression. It's progressing. Oh, that's a nice term to know. Chord progression. Let's write it down. Chord progression. Okay, chord progressions. Oh well, it's more than one. Okay, so let me go back to it. So my first finger on the first fret. Remember, each finger, depending on what I'm playing, belong to a fret. Here I'm on the top of the tablature. Tablature is the body of the guitar where the frets are and the notes are. Uh, and then, oh, how do we spell tablature? Oh, it's a long word. Tablature. There we go. That's the word. All right. So I'm using the first fret, the first finger, the second string, first string, second string, and I'm playing three strings at the bottom. So let's illustrate the three strings. How many strings on the guitar? Oh, six strings. Okay, so I have one, two, three, four, five, six. One, two, three, four, five, six. So when I play with one finger, I use three strings. You know what are the name of the strings? That's the E. That's the what? B, and that's the G. Ah, something that you have to understand here. Why I say I'm playing the C major chord. How that comes to the interesting part. This is the first fret, right? Agreed? And this is the second fret. Good. Now, the open string is E, the open string is G, and where I put my finger is C. So, what do you think I have? I have G, C, E, which is the C chord. That's an inversion. Well, that's not the story you're going to be learning later on. That's an inversion of the C major chord. Since we are at it, let's see what that means. The C major chord is made of thirds. Third, what's that? Okay, when the notes are three notes apart. Counting the first one. C, E, G. Instead of having C, D, E, F, G, we have C, E, and E, G. So the fact that they skip it, it becomes a chord. All right, all right. I know. It's what? It's okay. That's the way it is. Okay, so we call it a chord. But up here, when I read the three strings, remember we're going to do music notation. Aha, I see G first, C after, and E next. And the G is open because there's no marking to play it. Oh, really? And the C, that's where I put my finger. Oh, that's the first finger. Then the E, there's no finger for it, so it's open too. So I have open, open, and finger. It's an inversion. Oh, since I'm at it, let me show you what we're going to learn later on. Music notation. I mentioned that. Oh, I did. Okay. Music notation, you put everything on the staff. All right. On the staff we go. We'll talk about all that later on. So the first one note is G. The next one is what? C. The next one is E. All those are the chord I play. All those are the note I play. Yeah, when I play the three strings, those three strings right there, those are the notes I'm playing with one finger. Really, all those notes for one finger? Yep. I have the three strings, as I showed you. One string is a G, it's open, and the next one is a C because I'm touching. Touching is not open. B is a C here, and then the next one is the E, which is open E. So those are the three strings. It sounds like that. Pretty good. How about the second one? Since we're at it, I'm going on with it. How about this one, the G7? How do I call it G7? Oh, 7. Mean that there are 7 notes. 7 notes. Okay, G7. So let me give you a secret on the sevens. So I said G7, right? So I need to have a G with 7 notes. G, A, B, C, D, E, F. That's a G7. Oh, really? Yeah. 7 notes. G7. But how you play this and call it G7? Let's find out about the notes. This is G. Oh, this is B. Oh, really? And then this is F. Open E. The first note is an F. So this is an F. So as you can see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 makes it a G7. So when I play all 3 notes, I'm playing the G7. I know it's a big story, that's a lot of letters, but you have to get used to it because we're going to be learning how to read it on the staff and to look at it on the guitar and then get all those sketches. Okay? Yep. So as I said, this is a G7. So how do I write that G7? Let me get my staff over here. Staff, show my listener, my viewer, how we get that G7. Okay. G7. So I have the G, oh, right here. And then I have what? The B, oh, right there. And I have the F, right here. One is missing is the D. I could play the D right here if I want to. I can play that D too. I can play 4 notes. Remember, I can play 3, 2, I can play 4. That will give me the full G7. Okay? But that D will be right here, though, right there. That will be the G7. Okay. So when I play that one note, I'm doing all that. 4 strings, and give me the whole G7 according to this. G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. How do I know it's a G7? I have to skip to get the chords. G, B, D, F. That makes make it a G7. I know it's a lot. I've been doing it a lot so many times. Get used to it. Okay. So when I use one finger, I'm playing all those notes. That's what's beautiful about the guitar. One finger can give you a lot of notes. As you can see, the C major give me 3 notes for one finger, and the G7 give me about 4 notes. All right, so let me go with that song. I start with C. So you see all those notes I'm playing. I can have a trio, 2 people singing. It's got a and I go to the one finger. I give me 4 strings, 4 notes. Back to C. Back to C. Okay, now that first finger is highly important. Why? Because I can use it here, first string, and then I get a D minor. If I play on the second, I have an A minor. If I put it on the third, I have an E major. If I put it higher, I have a B7. And back to E. That's a lot. that first finger. That first finger is very important, very important. And we come back with other fingers next time. So it's nice seeing you again. Ta-da! Until next time.